Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday message for, November 5th of 2023. My talk today is entitled, Are You Lot's Wife? And it comes from Genesis chapter 19. If you were to read this chapter, you would read the story of the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. And in that story, Lot was told to leave the city with his family and to not look back. And of course, Lot's wife did not follow those orders. And as she turned back, she was turned into a pillar of salt. The phrase pillar of salt actually has become a metaphor which indicates the manner in which we become kind of frozen in place when confronted with something that we don't like, or we really set our minds and our thoughts kind of like in a preservative state of not wanting to move. So metaphysically, in one way, Sodom and Gomorrah represent the unbalanced pleasures in life. In the case of Lot's wife, when she was fleeing from Sodom and Gomorrah, and she looked back, she was looking back at her life of pleasure that had become unbalanced, but which was still drawing her in. So that aspect of her turning to salt represents the part of her that could not release her desire for this unbalanced pleasure in her life. Today, there's no one listening who doesn't at some level wish for the good old days in some way. Maybe there's a physical challenge that you're going through and you wish for that time in your life when you were young and vibrant and in great physical shape. And maybe you had a sharp mind growing up. And now you notice that your mind isn't as sharp as it once was. You no longer have the energy that you once did, and you long for that energy again. There's a multitude of reasons that we could be looking back at what we call the good old days of our lives. Now, metaphysically, Sodom and Gomorrah could represent all of that for Lot's wife. Maybe all the parties they went to, maybe all the youthful exuberance, the beautiful clothes, the time in her life where she was honored as somebody. We don't know what was going through Lot's wife when she turned around and looked back. But what about you? Do you long for the days when you were somebody at work or in the community? And I'm not necessarily speaking about being the president of a company or the leader of some organization. I'm also speaking about having had a job where you felt you were useful in life, that you were making a difference in some way in the lives of the people around you. Are you now holding on to all those memories and living in that world instead of today in this time and place? In a way, it's nice to remember all those good things about life and how you helped out the world around you, or all the times that you did something that brought you such great happiness. And if used correctly, these memories can be a motivating force to assist you to find something today to bring you some of that same type of satisfaction. And on the flip side of that is how we hold on to all the wrongs that people did to us growing up in our early days of working, making a living, marriage, whatever, or the things that are even happening to you today where you feel you're being, taken advantage of or being wronged in some way. And we keep thinking about all the things that happened to us in the past and how they were bad for us. Or we keep thinking about all the things that we did to someone in the past and how wrong we were. That one actually is easy to fix. It's just find the person and apologize. It's that simple. Maybe not easy in some ways, but actually much easier to fix than when we hold on to things that people did to us. But let's say that there is someone from your past that you have anger or resentment toward, or you did someone wrong in the past and they've passed on. Well, there are ways to do a healing with those people and they don't even have to be present in your life today. One of the ways you can do a healing with them is you can write down all the things that you did, someone did to you or you did to someone else, and write it in a letter. Put all those feelings down on a piece of paper and then burn it. And as it burns, just imagine that energy is going to whoever that person is and is clearing all the energy between the two of you that you were holding on to. And there's another way to clear that, to me personally, is much more thorough and more rewarding in a way. And that is to sit down in a chair with another chair in front of you, facing you. And just visualize that person sitting in the chair in front of you. Tell them all the things you want to say. If it's someone who hurt you in any way, tell them everything that you felt hurt about of what they did or what they said. And then have them speak to you. And this is with your eyes closed, and imagine them there, and imagine having them speak to you and have them clear, whatever it is that went on. Have them say something back to you for what it is that you felt, and then let them tell you something back, and keep that conversation going until it's resolved, and you get an apology from that person. It may take time to do that, but it will happen. But what if you were the one who said or did something to someone else? Do the same thing. Sit them in that chair, apologize to them, and share all the feelings of what you felt you did wrong to them. And then, have them speak back to you. Apologize, have them share their feelings back to you. Have a conversation with them in your mind. And then when you feel that the air is cleared, just get up, imagining them in front of you, and give each other a hug. Allow all the energy that you've been holding between the two of you just dissipate and be gone. It's the same with that person that you felt, had harmed you. Maybe at the end of that session, you could get up and give each other a hug also and let everything go. But the main reason is, why do we want to do this? It's because we need to be in this now present moment in life. To have all the greatest good of God's source to come to us, if we're living in the past or in the future, then we are not in the now to accept all the good of God. If we're not in the present, in the now, we can't be fully present with thankfulness and gratitude for what we have. November is the month of Thanksgiving, and it's the time for being grateful what we have, what we're receiving. But if we look to the past constantly, and we're remembering all the times we had great health or great times we contributed to the world and we're not doing that, where we felt productive and now we're not, we can feel gratitude for those days. And then we're in connection with Source. But if we're wallowing in the past, wishing we could go back to that time and not wanting to be in this time and place, then we're actually cutting ourselves off from all the wonders that God still has for us. No matter how many years we have under us, we are still here on this earth to be of service. And how can you do that? What is your calling to be of service now? The last time I spoke, I shared with you one of the greatest ways that we can be of service to humanity, and that's by blessing everyone you see. If you want something in your life, bless others with that. If you want greater health, then bless everyone you see with greater and better health. If you want more financial prosperity in your life, then bless others with greater financial prosperity. If you want more love in your life, then bless others with more love. If you just want more overall greater good in your life, then bless everyone you see with that greater good in their lives. We are all one with Source. So if you want something and you bless others with that, then you're actually blessing yourself with that also. But you can't do that if you're still attached to the past in some way. Lot's wife was turned into a pillar of salt by looking back. In other words, her mind became dried out or preserved into the events of the past and unable to move forward in time to look at what was ahead of her. She was unable to move forward. So no matter how many years we have been on this planet, no matter what we have done in the past or what was done to us in the past, we must continue to move forward in our lives. Very few people have been able to reach the pinnacle of possibility in their life by the time it comes to the end for them. But that means we all still have a lot to open to before we leave. Maybe you did have great health in the past. Maybe you did some wondrous things for humanity. Maybe you touched the lives of many people in some way in the past. Whatever the past was, it was in the past. Today is today. There is still much growth to be done in our own internal lives. And maybe that's why at our later time in life, we're given the opportunity to not have to do much out there. But we've been given the time to go within and make that greater connection to Source, to God, to the Christ within us. At this point in most of our lives, we are moving closer to the end of our time down here. And now is the time for us to take our minds and hearts off the past and be more present in this now moment, accepting more and more of the oneness that that we can have from Source, the greater connection we can have from God, Source, the greater the energy of God that can come into our lives. As that greater energy comes in, the more our bodies heal, the more prosperity comes in, the more things just move into alignment for us in ways that we don't fully understand. When we are in the now moment, and only when we are in the now moment, can we fully accept all the good of God. We can't accept all the good of God if we're in the past, because the good of God doesn't come to the past. It doesn't come to the future. It comes to the now. So allow the past to be the past. Give thanks for all that happened because you learned from everything that did happen. Be grateful for all the lessons that come back to the here and now. And be thankful for all the gifts that you are being given right now, here today. Be thankful for the time you have left to make that greater connection to God with Source. And begin to look forward to the time when you have made that deeper connection and you feel all the energy of God flowing through you once again, enlivening your entire life, guiding you and healing all that needs to be healed. Be thankful in the moment today, right now, for everyone and everything around you. And in the now moment, being thankful is when you open yourself to greater good. So thank you all for watching this message today, and may you be blessed with a complete release of the past and a full connection with Source right now, right here. Many, many blessings, all of God bless and namaste.